Hi guys, what's up? So today we're going to talk about XAT and a quant strategy of XAT. This is one of the predictable section in XAT, by the way. And why it's predictable? Because mostly the trend remains the same and it doesn't really vary too much. And this is one of the scoring section as well. So let's have a quick look at the historical data of quants, how quants have been in couple of last years. Alright, so here is the past data for you guys. I have done the 3 years analysis, that's 15, 16 and 17. Now, whenever we talk about XAT and quants, XAT quants is predominantly dominated by geometry as such, okay? So geometry is going to be a big chunk. It has always been a big chunk as far as XAT quants is concerned. If you look at last 7 years papers, you will always see geometry has been asked around about 35 to 40% ka bracket. But to my surprise, if you look at geometry numbers out here, it looks pretty stagnant and consistent for 15 and 16, but it got reduced drastically, like 50% down in the year 2017. Okay, now even if you look at the overall number of questions for that, it has again came down. So 15 it was 31, then it went to 30 and then 27. So I am hoping, rather, I feel that they will be keeping the same bracket, or rather if it goes down then that's fine, but I think you should expect questions from 28 to 33 ka bracket, max to max 34. You will not get more than this, that's for sure. So you will range between 28 to 33. Now let's look at this data. Let's analyze this data first. So the first two categories out here are predominantly by arithmetic, which is PNL, TSD, time and work, averages, so on and so forth. But the point here is that this has been consistent. Okay, if you look at this bracket out here, these two things are consistent. So you will get 2 to 3 questions, minimum 1, maximum going to be 3 questions as far as arithmetic is concerned. I'm going to talk about arithmetic in a while, but let's have a quick analysis to this database first. Then comes the geometry. Okay, so arithmetic is there, then the geometry is there. So this is the first one, this is the second one. Let's understand what has been asked for, like many questions. Then comes DI. Okay, so DI forms around about 8 questions, pretty consistent. 8, 7 and 8. So DI, if I say, will constitute around about 40%, 35 to 40% in quants. Fine. And then you have a couple of topics from here and there. Probability came last year. It was absent in 16 and 15. Trigno, 1 question. All right. Functions, again, pretty stagnant, pretty consistent. Algebra, okay, I have done the bifurcation in the next slide, so we'll have a look at it. So we can see here that geometry, DI, arithmetic, number system and algebra looks quite important as far as XAT is concerned on the basis of the past data. Now let's understand what can be expected in XAT 2018. Alright, so this slide talks about expected quant section. I am expecting around about 28 questions in XAT from the bracket of 28 to 33. But yeah, but the scenario would remain the same. If it goes down, then there will be a bad news, because if the quants is round about 25, 26, I think the number of questions, if goes down, then there will be a problem to score more in XAT, overall. So it's always good to have quants in the bracket of 28 to 33. If it's more than 33, then again it's going to be time consuming. Then you'll be lacking time on decision making and verbal. So let's hope that we get in the range of 22, 28 say like 30 tak. Now arithmetic. So according to me, if you look at arithmetic, it's going to be PNL, time and distance, time and work, averages. So this is going to be the first category that I'm going to talk about. Now what happens in arithmetic? If you look at last 5 to 6 or 7 years ka trend of arithmetic, I have actually bifurcated in these two categories, medium to difficult. Now let's understand, why do I say this is medium to difficult? Now when I talk about questions of averages, when I talk about questions of mixtures and allegations, when I talk about questions like PNL, ratios, proportion, these guys are going to be medium. Now why it's going to be medium? Because for the fact XAT is on a tougher level, you will not get the answers very quickly. Your options may be in the decimal form, your numbers may be a little weird, but at the end of the day, it's definitely going to be manageable. So you will definitely get the answer. If you spend some time, you'll get 100% accuracy, that's for sure. Difficult is time, speed and distance. Yeah, this because of the possibilities and because of the language that has been formed, you guys need to spend some more time on TSD, need to work out your options, and then you'll get the answer. That's the reason, according to me, if you look at the analysis, this has been difficult over a period of time. So arithmetic is going to be in the range of medium to difficult. Then comes your geometry. Geometry will be divided into this couple of parameters: coordinate, trigono, so on and so forth. Last year there were only 4 to 5 questions, so I would say this year, if the trend continues, I'm expecting around about 6 questions in here. So the second category is going to be geometry. It's going to be medium to difficult, pretty much manageable. What I want you guys to do is, for next couple of days, like 3 to 4 days, just focus on geometry. Okay, do as much as you can, and how you should do it. Now, when I talk about geometry, arithmetic, number system, or even for modern maths, the main focus is going to be your past papers. Okay, you need to be very good with this. Just take your past papers, like 6 to 7 years ka papers, and just practice, practice, and practice. Do not study anything new as of now. Okay, just practice it. If I've done very well in CAT, this is going to be a good thing for you. If you have not done, that's okay. You can still do it. Now, why past papers are so much important? Because though the questions won't get repeated, but the pattern or the format of those questions will definitely be repeated. Not 100%, but guys, couple of questions here and there, you will see the same format or the same pattern. So it's going to be a sitter question for you. So I want you guys to little focus on the past papers. You can go to cetking.com, cetking.com/ZAT. I think you should get all the past papers in here. Okay, so arithmetic, then geometry, number system. मेरे ख्याल से you guys must have done this by now. If you're a CAT student, I think 2 questions should be easy to solve. Shouldn't be the problem. Probability came only last year, so if you want to put some efforts on probability, I think it's okay, because even probability is going to be important for CMAT and CET going forward. So you can do that. And last but not the least, and the most important part, is data interpretation. Now let's look at data interpretation. Now one says medium and the another, one says medium and the another says difficult. Okay. Now what exactly I mean when I say difficult? Okay. So data interpretation is basically never difficult, guys. Why it becomes difficult is because it's little calculative. You know, it's little calculative. You have couple of calculations which are in decimal, the numbers are not correct, and then it's kind of tough to understand sometimes. You are not able to comprehend the data. You don't understand, you know, what's linking where. So because of these 2 things, it becomes tough. But if I look at my DI, it's going to be a really good opportunity for me, because 4 questions as it is going to be easy, so I can definitely get them if I spend some more time on it. Other 4 questions are going to be tough. Okay, though these are tough, I'm not aiming at 4 on 4. What I'm aiming at is only 2 questions which are short, like percentage increase, percentage decrease, total, average, something like that. So on 8, I should be roughly getting 5 to 6 questions with 100% accuracy. And that should be your aim as far as your DI is concerned. So if I have to put in the order as far as quants is concerned, the first weightage will go to DI, because you spend more time, you are close to 100% accuracy, and no surprises as such. Second, I'll put in arithmetic. Then comes geometry. Number 4 will be algebra, simple equations, functions, and so on and so forth. So I think these 4 things are going to be most important for me. Now I have, say, around about 28 questions, or let's say 30 questions. My only attempt should be 50% out of this. You are not supposed to attempt everything in ZAT as far as quants is concerned. Okay, you should be attempting only 50% of the questions, but your aim should be close to 100% accuracy. You should not be going 20 plus. You will not get that much time, that's for sure. You should be only hoping, like if you get 28 questions, I would say your attempt should be around about 13 to 14. If you get 30 questions, you should be around about 15 to 16. If you get 33 questions, you should be 16 to 17 with, say, 80% of the accuracy. So 80% accuracy will also fetch you good amount of marks, which will take you above 90 percentile. That's for sure. Okay, so you are not attempting everything, and that's the reason when you look at the paper, scan it first. Understand what you can do with 100% accuracy. Understand what you can do with 90, with 80, 70%. Don't touch. Only focus on these 3 parameters, and remember, only 50% attempt. So out of this 28 to 30, if you are in the range of 15, I think it should be manageable. Now, say DI, in DI, I'm getting 6 questions. Arithmetic, I'm getting, say, 2 questions. Geometry, I'm getting 2 questions. So this is DI, this is arithmetic, this is geometry. Okay. Number system, agar aapko aata hai, then number system I say 1 question. And whatever has left, you know, modern maths and, you know, algebra and all those miscellaneous like clocks and all those questions they have asked in, you know, a couple of years back. So even if I look at these things, right, I am close to 11. Double digit, a good number. Even if you're close to this, with say 95% of the accuracy or 90% of accuracy, I think this should be sufficient, more than enough to fetch at least a sectional cutoff. And then yeah, if you're pretty good at it, if you're mastering it, definitely once you know that okay, now I'm close to 90 percentile, I've got my 11 or 12 questions correct, you have time in your hand, guys, just go ahead and mark a couple of more questions perfect, because it's always good to have 99.99. So in that case, I would tell you the same thing, that this should be your order of your preparation, and this is how you should be looking at your Zatka quants. Couple of things quickly in a nutshell. Number one, practice all the past papers. Okay, focus on DI, arithmetic, geometry, and algebra. Okay, do not do anything new, but practice lot of past papers. Simple, and your attempt should be around about 50% with close to 100% accuracy. Cool. All right, just to reiterate, you can get the last year paper on cetking.com/ZAT. Okay, you can search it. If you don't get it, you can get in touch with me. This is my FB page. This is my YouTube channel. Next video is going to be on decision making for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any question, you can ping me up. Absolutely no problem. And I wish you all the best. Thank you so much, guys.